How to work against loose skin after bariatric surgery. I've explained this in words before, but I feel like having some sort of visual in mind can absolutely help this quite a lot, okay? So when someone's post-op, they are losing body fat on a week-to-week basis. If you think the butter is body fat, quite a lot will be occurring to the point where even it's quite normal that 3, 4, 5 pound a week, this is what 5 pound of fat looks like, can be occurring off your body over the course of time. People in the early stages post-op have higher BMRs, they burn more calories at rest. It's obviously a very low calorie diet, lots of fat loss occurs, but it will slow down over time because BMR goes down, the lighter we get, but also we have to eat more food. So really important we buy into the fact it will slow down over time. When excessive fat loss occurs, loose skin can be the byproduct of that. But where loose skin really occurs is when people lose muscle mass. If someone's in a very strong calorie deficit and they're losing lots of body fat, muscle mass loss can occur. We do not want that. That is not the weight loss that we're after. The whole goal is fat loss. It's quite hard to build muscle mass due to the low calorie nature of the diet, but we can absolutely do all we can to protect it. And just to kind of explain it, I'm going to use these books. If you imagine these are the muscle mass, you've got Tyson Fury here, he's got a lot of muscle. So Tyson Fury and the books are muscle. The body fat is obviously the body fat, and I want you to imagine this is like a part of your body, an arm or a leg or whatever visual you want to sort of take advantage of, okay? I'm going to put the body fat in the arm, okay? Actually, no, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna put the books in there first because that'll make more sense. So your muscle mass is here and your body fat is here. The goal is fat loss. So in your arm, you've got your fat and you've got your muscle. The goal is fat loss, and great fat loss is occurring, it's changing your life and providing so many other benefits. This in its own right can make loose skin occur, okay? It's just part of fat loss. It can be linked to things like age, so older people tend to be more likely to get loose skin because as we get older, we lose muscle as well, there's a clue there. Also gender, ladies do tend to hold it more than men, but also it can be certain parts of genetics as well. If you give them birth, this is obviously a factor around tummy area, etc. But so loose skin can occur as part of fat loss. But like I said earlier on, if your muscles go a bit catabolic and you start to lose muscle mass as well, you're going to get a lot more loose skin compared to just from the fat loss. So the absolute goal throughout the whole entire process is to try and retain muscle the best we can. How do we do that? Well, we make sure that we are hitting our protein targets. In the early stages, we talk about 60 grams. Really, if it goes 80 to 100, even 120, that's absolutely fine. Protein is not that calorie dense. Every gram of protein is only 4 calories. So even 120 grams of protein is only 480 calories. This is not a high protein diet. It's an eat the right amount of protein diet. And so many patients don't. There are other health negatives. So hair is spoken about quite a lot. Enzyme function, muscle mass retention, but also it aids with fullness, it aids with your metabolism. We need to be hitting optimal protein. But on an aesthetic basis, it helps you protect your muscle mass. Lifting weight. Now, we don't have to be Arnie and lifting as heavy as we possibly can, but we certainly want to be doing some sort of resistance training. Home workouts are fine, using bands and light dumbbells, but really, of course, the gym is going to offer a whole array of other benefits because you've got more equipment at your disposal, which means you can hit more angles, you can hit more muscles. It's actually a lot safer because you've got equipment that's going to aid you. Remember, the goal is to start light and then build yourself up. We don't need to be going all in and doing crazy stuff, jumping up and down, high impact stuff. Utilizing the machines, maybe with a view to building to cables, and it can be free weights eventually if you want it to be, but lifting weights is going to be a key component in retaining muscle mass while hitting optimal protein. And then the other, of course, is sleep, okay? Sleep is so underestimated. Of course, when you're in a big, strong calorie deficit, it's an energy deficit. A calorie is a unit of energy. It can be a bit on the de-energizing side sometimes. So we want to prioritize all the natural energy resources we have: fluids, protein, movement, sleep. Sleep, you can get everything right, have a bad night's sleep and be tired. And I appreciate there are people who have conditions that can really not help with sleep, but when aggressive fat loss occurs, things like resting heart rate tends to go down, which usually aids sleep quality. And we really want to create that virtuous cycle around our sleep, that predictability. So have a bedtime, try and get a cycle of waking up at the same time each day. This will really help, not just your overall journey, your energy levels. I'll do a video on sleep incoming soon, but it will absolutely aid protecting that muscle mass. And I know so many patients are aware that loose skin can be occurring. A question I get asked all the time is, how do I work against loose skin? And with the goal being fat loss, there can be an element that it is inevitable. But by protecting muscle mass, you'll be doing all you can do to help the loose skin. And that lives in optimal protein, in strength training, ideally in the gym because you've got more options, but certainly at home if not, and optimal sleep. And if you get those all right, I promise you'll be doing all you can do to help your loose skin. I'm the Bariatric PT. I hope you enjoyed that. Please comment below. And if you have any further questions, you can let me know anytime, and I'll look forward to catching up with you all very, very soon. Goodbye.